Hello, to watch this video, you first need to know about Ansible. If you do not know about Ansible, you will have a hard time to follow and you probably won't understand some of the concepts I am explaining. Okay, so Ansible has two methods to work. The default method and the method that you probably already know is the push method. With the push method, we have our configuration file that with configuration file I mean our YAML files, our playbooks, plays and tasks. And then we have a computer that will execute a command. And the command will, what basically will do is that we'll push this configuration file to our target hosts, and then we'll install anything that needs to be installed or executed. So and if we have more servers to configure or more hosts, he without any problem he can just go to each one of them. So this is the push method. But what happens if we want our configuration file to be somewhere else, not to be in the computer that will execute the Ansible command? So we can use Ansible-pull. With Ansible-pull, we go to the server that we want to install everything that our configuration file says. So we go here and then we say, all right, pull all these tasks and then execute them. The thing is that we cannot execute this configuration file that it is in a repository, could be GitHub, GitLab, anything, to configure other servers. Let's say we have server 2, server 3, and so on. We cannot say, okay, we cannot say pull this to these other servers and execute this configuration file. So that's the problem with Ansible-pull. And one way to solve it is, I would say it's a workaround to solve it, is that let's say we add another computer, right? Let me delete this. And this computer is the one that will execute Ansible, in this case Ansible-pull. So this computer will go to all the servers and will tell the servers to pull the configuration file and install anything that needs to be installed. So this way we can have our configuration, our plays, our playbooks on a single repository, and then we can configure several servers with this configuration file that is not in the computer where we are installing Ansible. That's very important. So this is the example I'm going to show you next. So I have here my three servers, server 1, server 2, server 3, right? They are publicly accessible, so this is the ones I'm going to configure. Here we have our public IPs to reach them. All right, and I have here my configuration files. Let's take a look. What these do is that we'll install these roles, and these roles we can go back and see that each of the roles has its own tasks. So we go here. Let's say this is going to install Git in the servers. Okay. So this is our main configuration file, and this file is just on a public repository, which means this will be this part. Okay. And as the computer that will execute this command is going to be my local PC, the one we are looking right now. So what do we have here? I have a host file. I have another playbook file, which this file does not contain any complex installation. This file only says to the server, install, make an Ansible pull and install from another source. And obviously I have my pen file which I use to authenticate to the servers. Okay, so what I'm going to do is going to run this playbook, run this play, and this play what's going to do is gonna contact the servers like we saw here. It's gonna contact the servers, and then the servers by themselves they are gonna go to the repository and make a pull and install anything that is configured in the repository. So the command to do this, let me clear this, we're going to use Ansible playbook as a command. We are going to make a reference to our main.yaml file. We're going to add the key to contact the servers, and then we're going to say which servers we are trying to contact. So if we take another look, I'm going to contact everything that is in the group servers. In the group servers I have these IPs. So I'm going to install pipe 3 because remember that to run Ansible, every computer needs Python. So this computer needs Python. If this server is going to run Ansible, needs Python as well. Actually, the three of them needs Python. So that's the first thing we're going to do. To install Python, then we're going to install Ansible, and then that server is going to run Ansible-pull from this repository on this branch. So that computer will contact this repository and then will run this local.yaml file, and this local.yaml file will run these roles. Okay, so let's look like in action. So it is contacting the servers. First, going to run this first task, which basically will install Python. It says it is already installed because I already run this command. Then it's going to install pipe, which in this case pip3 because I'm using Python 3. And at last we'll run this Ansible-pull, which this task is going to take a little longer because this Ansible-pull it is more complex based on the complexity of the repository. This is why it's taking a little long. And after this finish, this is what we wanted. We wanted to run Ansible-pull on several servers at the same time. And now we can just modify this repository. For example, we can add another role, or we can, instead of install pipe or git, we can uninstall them. And if we run this command again, they are going to be uninstalled. Right. So it worked. This is the example I wanted to give you, and thanks for watching.